Hi there, my name is Julius from Skills Excel Training Institute. This presentation is all about dates. I'll be showing you how to execute date functions. This topic is vital to the people who are doing finance, people in accounting, people in purchasing department, and also people who are doing statistics and you working with dates all the time or each and every day in your spreadsheets. So I'll be showing you the main tips of coming up with the necessary results when it comes to dates. In front of us, we have got our spreadsheet, and this spreadsheet has got different headers. When we look at column A, we have got the invoice date. Column B, we've got invoice due date. Column C, number of days. Column D, we've got month. Column E, we have got month name. And column F, we have got year. Column G, we've got weekday. Column H, we have got week name. Column I, we've got week number. And then column J, we have got EDATE. Okay, so some of the functions that we're going to be working with when it comes to dates, we have got the days function, we have got the EDATE, we have got the month function, we have got the year function, we have got the weekday function, we have got the week number, we've got the DATEDIF, we've got the week name, and we have got the word text against the week name. We have got the month name, and still here we are also having text against the month name too. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to highlight my headers. Yeah, I'm highlighting my headers. I'm just gonna try to apply a cell style whereby everyone can be able to see our headers. Okay, so along my commands, I'll look for cell styles. So there I am, I've got in there. Then I'll be looking for not accent 4, not accent 5. I'll choose accent 6, which is like green. It's a green color. I'm sure everyone now can visibly see the headers clearly. I like green because green means comfort zone. Green means pleasure. Green means peace. And even if we are to look at some of our histories here in Africa, if we look far in the east of Africa, you may find out that there are some tribes, let's say the Karamajongs, tribes like the Maasai, they are always moving place to place, just in search for green pastures. The first function that we're gonna be looking at is the days function. The days function returns the number of days in between two dates. For instance, we have got our invoice date here, and we have got our invoice due date. Supposing you are a supplier and you issued an invoice date on the 31st of January 2012, then the due date is 19 February 2012. That means this client or the customer is supposed to be effecting payment on the 19th of February 2012. So here is the task. We want to know how many days is this client given to clear up the invoice. That's when the days function comes in, such that we can now determine how many days exactly does this client have to pay off the invoice. All right, so we're gonna apply our invoice, our days function here, which is equals to days. In my dialog box, I can see the days function. I'll double click on it. And here is the syntax. The syntax says end date, comma, start date. Excel will give us the number of days in between these 2 days. All right, so in this case, our end date is our invoice due date, which is this one. So I'll click on it. Then I'll say comma, the start date, which is the invoice date, and it's this one. Then I'll close my brackets and I hit enter. As soon as I hit enter, I'll find out that there are 19 days in between the invoice due date and the invoice date. So this client basically is being given 19 days to pay off the invoice. So how do I get the rest of the days for the other invoices? All I'll have to do is to just drag down, and then automatically I'll get my answers. Right, so here the client has got 9 days to pay off, and in here it's got 19 days, here it's got 15 days, here it's got 23 days, and here it's got 4 days. Our next function will be the EDATE. We're gonna learn when do we use the EDATE, and as we can see in our spreadsheet, EDATE is in column J. So first and foremost, we need to understand what does EDATE stand for and when do we use it. So EDATE returns the date after a particular number of months. It gives us the actual date after a number of months. For instance, what will be the date 4 months from now? All right, we shall come here and apply today's date to get what date is it today, by just saying equals to today, open bracket, close bracket, today's date will be populated. So as soon as today's date is populated, now we want to know what will be the date 4 months from today. So we apply that's when the EDATE comes in. So we shall say equals to EDATE, and our syntax will display. The EDATE syntax says start date, comma, months. Then it will tell us what date it will be after a particular number of months. So our start date for this time, it will be today's date, comma, the number of months. How many months are we testing? Okay, so we shall write 4, close bracket, hit enter. So this will be the date 4 months from today. But as we can all see, this one doesn't look like a date, it's a serial number. All right, so how do we convert this to date? All what we have to do, we just have to click here, get to our number group, check this arrow, then we convert that serial number into date. We can either convert to a short date or a long date. I'll choose short date, hit enter. So automatically the date will be displayed. So 4 months from today, this will be the date. All right, back to our column, which is column J with EDATE. We shall still apply our function here, and this time we shall be testing the invoice date in cell A7. All right, so we shall still be testing what was the date 4 months from this invoice date in cell E7. So here we go, equal sign, EDATE. There our syntax is start date, comma, month. So our start date will be this invoice date, comma, 4, because we are testing 4 months. What was the date 4 months after that invoice date? So we write 4, close bracket, hit enter. So we come to understand that this was the date 4 months from this date. All right, so how do I get the rest of the dates? I'll just come here and drag down, so the rest of the dates will be populated. Now we're going to be looking at the month function. When do we use the month function? Actually, the month function comes in when we have got a date and we want to find out which month was it in this date. For instance, we have this date in A7. Sometimes it is confusing. We want to know which month was in this date. It is actually 31st January 2012, but let's say we have this date in A12, which is 4th of March 2022. When we look at 4th, it may look like a month, it may look like a date. When you look at 3, it also may look like a month, or it may look like a day. So the use of the month function, it is to clearly find out which month is it in a stated date. All right, let's apply the function together here, which is equal to month. And this time we're going to be testing this invoice date still at S7. So when we look at the syntax, it says equals month, and they only want the serial number, which is the date. So for this case, we just say equals month, and this is our date that we're going to be testing. So we want Excel to tell us which month is in this date. So we're going to close the bracket, and as soon as we hit enter, it clearly shows and tells us that the month is 1, which is January. Okay. So it is 31st of January 2012. Same way, we're going to just drag down to understand the rest of the months. And when I drag down, I get to know that in this date, the month is August, which is 8 here. And in this date, the month is October. That's why you're seeing 10 here. And for this date here, the month is February. That's why you're seeing 2 here. And for this month here, the month is January, and that's the reason why you're seeing 1 here. And lastly, in this date, the month is March. That's why you're seeing 3 here. But sometimes we're just seeing numbers. We want to see January, not 1. You understand? It might be confusing. We don't know what 1 stands for. So in this month name, we're going to be finding out this 1 stands for which month. So in order to understand this, we're going to use our formula, or rather function, and we shall say equals to text. Since January is a text, so we're going to apply the text function to get the month name. So equals to text. And what is the value? The value is the date that we want to get the text of the month. So our date is this one, comma, what format do we want? We want to know which month is it. So we're going to open quotes, M standing for month times 4, close our quotes, close brackets, hit enter. So it will clearly show us that 1 stands for the month of January. And to get the rest of the month, I will just drag down, and all the other months will be populated. To get to know the year, still we're going to use our year function, and the year will be populated in column F. Okay, so we're going to apply the function here for the year, which is equal sign here. And what is our serial number? We are testing still the same invoice date, A7. Once we close our brackets, hit enter. So it will clearly show us that it is 2012. And to get the rest of the years, we're just gonna drag down, and the years will be indicated in this column. In this date, the year is 2012, and in this date, in A8, the year is still 2012, and in this date, A9, the year is 2011, and in this date, A10, the year is 2013, and in this date, A11, the year is 2022. And lastly, in A12, the year is still 2022. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel, and to get to know more about Excel, to dig more in Excel, just subscribe to our channel, or just email us. Our email address info@skillsexcel.co.za. You can also visit our website, which is www.skillsexcel.co.za, or you can contact us directly on our landline, which is 011-338-5199, or You can still WhatsApp us on 063 8407580. Thank you very much.